Hello there, lovely people. This is Ashley here, sending my love to you from whatever reality I'm in, to you in whatever reality you find yourself in today. I'm going to start off by saying I'm really sorry I haven't really been online very much. I've been dealing with some family issues. So my apologies for not being in contact with you as much as I'd like to have been. And, well, believe me, there's so many things that I want to talk about. Obviously, changes on the ground are still going on. One half of my hometown it's got beautiful buildings that weren't there before. It's some amazing buildings, actually, that I do hope to actually do to show you. I mean, it's not really much point because you don't know what it looked like before, but it would be nice to show you what I'm seeing as different. Thing is that you look a bit of an idiot when you're stood in the middle of the town pointing at buildings, exclaiming that they never used to be there. But I hope to do that for you. I'm going to do that at some point. I mean, and I've got so much to talk about because, I mean, I've known about the Mandela Effect and what it is now for a year. It's a year this month, although it took me another 2 months to actually, come online and talk about it. But it's been a year. I've been affected for a year, and it's been the most fucked up year of my life. And believe me, I've had some fucked up years in the past. But the Mandela Effect, trying to live with it, it's doing my head in. It's totally doing my head in, and you know what's really mad is that I've learned loads over this past year. I mean, I've looked into quantum physics like I've never. I mean, I tried to look at it before, but it always overwhelmed me that much that I could never really get into it. But now I'm actually living it, so I feel I've had to go online and have a look. So I've been researching so much in this past year. It's made me. I mean, I've watched videos from 2017 where actual people that are professors in physics have been talking about hoping that we have quantum computers. Well, the next day, a time when we're supposed to have quantum computers, and then that the North Pole came back for me. Well, it's still here. The North Pole is still here. And one of the things I want to ask you is that where I am, they're having the Extinction Rebellion. And over the weekend, there were, I think, 150 countries demonstrated and protested against the climate change situation that's going on in this reality. And I wanted to know, have you heard of the Extinction Rebellion? Do you know what it is? Because like I said, where I am, we've got the. I'm still with it. I'm still with that. The North Pole's still here, and see, it feels like home, but it's not home, and it doesn't feel like home anymore. Where I am, where the fuck are we? Where are we? Where actually are we? Because my own country's different. The world map. Let me talk about that for a second, because yes, it's changed massively, and it's changing all the time. And today, I went to a town not far away while we had a van MOT'd, and in the office there was this big map of the world, and it had been there for ages. It had been there for that long. It still had the USSR on it, so that's how long it had been there. And there's New Zealand, like that far further south than Australia. The land down under. New Zealand wasn't called the land down under. Why the hell would Australia be called the land down under when it's not the furthest bit of land, inhabitable land, south? And so, I'm looking at this old map that's new. It's got, and I'm with my husband, and I just want to go, look, Steve, look at that. It's so hard. I hate it. I hate seeing all these changes that aren't changes. And where's it leading us? And what? I'm left with even more questions, to be honest, after a whole year of being Mandela affected and reading up on, on like the hologram theory and simulation theory and like I was waiting for the Mayan the Mayan prophecy to come true for 18 years before 2012 and 20. I mean, it is the fifth world. The very thing they were talking about, it's here, it's now. And the Hopi prophecy just about explains everything that we're going through. I mean, I have done a video on that, so if you want to know a bit more about the Hopi prophecy, please go and have a look at my actual channel. You'll find it on there. But all of these things that I've learned have got me precisely nowhere. Nowhere. I'm still none the bloody wiser. I don't know where I am. I don't know where I am. I mean, everywhere we go, it's the same date, it's the same year, so far. But then time was changing willy-nilly on itself. It's like, oh, I can't keep up and I can't keep going on like there's nothing happening. And I've learned bugger all. I've looked up so many different things and yet I'm no closer to understanding what the hell is going on. None. No closer. The more I learn, the more confused I am. Because I'm desperate to understand what's happening. I want to know. I'm in a room with an old map of this new earth that is new to us. With New Zealand being the furthest south. With no North Pole on the map. No North Pole on the map. Little bit of South Pole on the bottom of it, but no North Pole on the map. Still no North Pole on our globes, even though when I went to the media centre not long ago, you know, there was a massive globe and there was globes all over the place showing the North Pole. At the moment, you know, quite frankly, at the moment, our situation where I am, the reality where I am right now is in dire straits because Iceland lost its first glacier. This weekend, Switzerland lost its first glacier. I mean, come on. It's even worse than we thought. But what is it? Because I know it isn't real. I mean, things like Hazel Fiver was talking about, the Hazel Fiver channel was talking about, you know, they cover different lyrics and things and things that are said in films, and one of them was like the Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. I was 18 dancing around in my mum's house to Sweet Dreams, very much so. It's got personal memories to me. Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? Changed to Sweet Dreams Are Made of These. But it's back to this now. So I'm thinking, has something gone horribly wrong and they're trying to fix it and bring us back together again? But then how can it be? Because quite frankly, you're from Sagittarius, I'm from Orion, the original one, not this one that we moved into, the original one. So that's different, and we seem to be merging into something entirely different. I've seen three different realities, three different versions of reality. Your Sagittarius, my original Orion, and this Orion that keeps changing all the time. The map hasn't finished changing yet. What the hell's happened to Britain? I don't know. And if you what's her name now? Frosty. Helen Stargazer, please go and have a look at her. I mean, I have said this before, but go and have a look at her because she's showing you today on the map what's changed in Britain alone. I mean, it looks like we've been on a diet, for God's sake. We're so thin and everything. Trying to live with this shit is unbelievably difficult with us being surrounded by people that won't let you talk about it. I can't talk about it. Yet I'm seeing things that I want to go. I want to knock my husband's head against the wall and go, will you wake up? Because I'm stood looking at a map with the USSR still on it. Yet there's New Zealand right down there. There's America over here. I mean, I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't really see Britain, to be fair. It was like this big. It was so tiny. But nothing's the same. I mean, the Bahamas. The Bahamas were never anywhere near America. Now they're right underneath Florida. What? I mean, God, I can't cope with it. What are we? What are we? Because quite frankly, this whole year, the only positive thing that I could bring out of it at first was the fact that I know I will see my mum again. My mum died nearly 10 years ago. It's 10 years in a couple of months' time that my mum died very suddenly. And I know that life is not as we've been told it is. It is not what we've been told it is. It's not natural. It's not this ball that's just formed out of bugger all. the Big Bang, everything came out of nothing. That didn't happen. And we are proof that that didn't happen. And what really gets to me is all these experts, are none of them affected. The people that are into quantum physics, we are the very proof. What is going on in our world is the very proof that they've been looking for. And yet, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do understand about the Illuminati, the global elite, and their part, but are none of them affected? And if they are they just being quiet about it? Because, well, have they? I'm at a complete and utter loss. I still just want to go home. So much. And that's another thing. I was watching Sliders. Was on TV the other day, and believe me, I watched it in the 90s, that and Quantum Leap. I watched all of those things, and now I'm bloody living it. I'm sat watching it with my family, and I'm living it. I'm living Sliders. I'm living Quantum Leap, although the body I'm jumping into is my own. God, how fucked up does that sound? Because I know I'm not in the original body. I know this isn't the original me. I'm the original me inside, but this body isn't the original me, and this earth isn't my original earth, and it isn't in the same place it used to be as it isn't with yours, whether you're from a Sagittarius arm of the galaxy or my original Orion. We're not in the same earth, we're not. And the Mayan calendar ended, and it said that it was about the fifth world. It's about the fifth world coming, and we're in that fifth world. So the Mayan calendar was right. So is this natural? Is this how it's supposed to be? Is it natural? I'm none the wiser. I'm none the wiser. The only thing I do know is that I'm glad that I'm not alone, and there are you lot are out there, without which I would just be a complete blubbering mess in a corner. Believe me, I would. But the fact that after a year of much, much research, and I'm still no closer to understanding what the frig is going on, I don't know what to do next. I don't know what to do next. It's too much, all of it. I mean, things flip-flopping about willy-nilly. No North Pole, different, Vaseline and Vaseline on the same shelf in a bloody shop that I go to. That happened to me when I first found out I was Mandela affected. That was the first thing, the first change on the ground I actually noticed was the Vaseline situation. And also, whenever I watch other people's channels and they tell me about what reality they're in and things that have changed with them, some things have changed here with me, some things haven't. And then maybe later on it will change. So sometimes it's like you're playing catch up with me. Sometimes it's like I'm playing catch up with you. Sometimes it's like they're trying to repair something. And I don't understand any of it. Anything. Nothing. After a whole year, I'm still none the wiser as to what is going on. Now, big up to you lot out there that think that, that you've got... I'm really envious. Because I know that some of you are completely convinced of, that it's like a hologram. Some people are completely convinced it's a hologram. Other people are completely convinced that it's just all simulated. Oh, I'm not convinced of any of it yet. I don't understand and I don't know. I don't know. I'm none the wiser. And I've looked and I've searched and I don't know. But the one thing I do know is that we are not what we've been told we are. We're not what we've been told we are. The earth isn't what we've been told it is. The one thing it has made me really sure about is that there is a creator. There's some kind of creative hand, force. I've always believed in God. I've had my wobbly moments, don't get me wrong. I've had my wobbly moments, but just purely because of intelligent design, because everything is so finely balanced with this made-up world, reality, universe, whatever it is, I don't know. But on Sliders the other day, they were saying it's the same world, just a different dimension when they slide. But it isn't the same world, is it? It's not the same world. We're on a different world. And I'm none the wiser. I don't understand that. I don't have very many out and out raging, losing the plot moments anymore. I still have them, but not as often. Not as often as I did. But believe me, it doesn't mean that I'm any closer to accepting it, understanding it, and even rejoicing in it, because I'm not. It's got nothing to do with religion, because people of all religions and no religion are affected by it. Why some can see it and the vast majority of people can't, I don't know. But then I also think, were they like me? Are the people out there like me that spent like 4 years going, seeing changes and not saying anything to anybody, really? So, but then there are other people that I've tried desperately hard to show, to speak to. My sister-in-law, I thought that she'd got it. Thought she understood, because she didn't forget. She didn't do all the usual upgrade. Do you know how they go a bit blank, as if they've been uploaded with some new information and they're playing catch up? Oh, and then the new reality becomes the actual reality it's always been to them. Well, she never did any of that, but I was trying to explain the other day that you know, that part of the street is wider than it was, and the houses are now on like an angle. And I'm trying to talk to her about it, and she wouldn't have any of it. She's doing that, nah, I'm not having any of that, walking off. And I said, oh, it's that Mandela Effect thing, when she went, oh yeah. Yeah, she saw the part was different. And that's what I can't understand. How can people see some changes and still not be affected by it? Because I can't pretend. I'm finding it really difficult pretending. Especially with my loved ones. I just want to. I don't know what I want. I just don't want to have to be seeing changes on my own. I mean, my husband sees changes, but I can't say, well, it wasn't there, but he's saying it's there. Because he gets angry and nasty. And I don't want to have that. It's bad enough as it is without that. But, oh, there's another thing. There was an advert. It went, check a trade.com, right? And it changed to trade.com. And I went, trust a trade? I thought it was check a trade. And he went, yeah. And then, lo and behold, a few days later, check a trade.com. And it's like, and he's ignoring it. And we only had the conversation about it about 4 days previously. Finding that kind of shit so hard. So hard. I'm finding it all hard, to be honest. A year on, and I'm not where I was this time last year, thank God, because I really was losing my marbles. I was crying all the time. Crying all the time when I first found out. But no, I'm not like that all the time. But believe me, I still have my moments. It's really... I mean, I'm sat in the MOT place earlier on looking at this ridiculous bloody map. And I just sighed. You know, I was like, oh... And Steve said, are you all right? And I'm like, yeah. I don't want to scream, no, look where New Zealand is. You know what I mean? So, yeah, my question today really is, have you got the Extinction Rebellion going on where you are? Because I have here, very much so. And that little girl, Greta, 16-year-old girl, Greta, that, you know, that you've got grown-ass people giving shit. You know, she's, I mean, they're saying you should be in school. And she says, well, why? Because there's not going to be a future if you carry on. So, have you got Greta saying all this about global warming where you are? Because I do know that in a lot of you still haven't got the North Pole and global warming. I mean, I think that's why some people don't believe in global warming, to be honest. Because I think some people are in the reality where there never was a North Pole. You know, we've noticed it's gone, but people say all the time, no, there never was one. You know, they've come from a reality where there wasn't a North Pole. So is that why you've got people saying there is and isn't global warming. Just thinking out loud, really. I mean, I know this has been a bit all over the place, this vlog today, but it's where my head is. Completely all over the place. I don't know whether I'm on my head or my arse anymore. I certainly don't know where I am I don't know what I am. I don't even know what I am anymore. I've always believed that I'm a spiritual being living a human life experience, but what am I? What are you? What are we? What are we? I mean, I would suggest that you go and look at some near-death experience videos. Please go and have a look at some of them, because they pretty much say the same thing, regardless of what religion you come from. They pretty much say the same thing. So go and check those out, because they gave me some kind of comfort. They have helped. And I do know that I will see my mum again, because we are not what we've been led to believe. You know, we're not just animals, are we? We're something else. We're the essence of what we are is not this. It's not this. The essence of what we are is something else, but what is that? I don't know. And I'm no closer to understanding any of this. I just needed to talk to you, really. I'm sorry I've been a bit everywhere today. But I just wanted to say hello and that I love you, and this is where my head's at. None the bloody wiser. The more I always said that I always had an inquisitive mind, and I always said the more I learn, the more questions it gives me. But oh my God, in this case, I just can't keep up. I mean, it's changing all the time. Oh, and another thing I have noticed is that when we're going through a change, which are happening much, much more regular than they were doing, I get poorly, I get drained, I don't feel well. And I know that other people feel that too. And I've just gone through another few days where I haven't been feeling so good. And I'm not looking forward to what I see changing next. Anyway, I'm going to close there, because it's all been a bit of a nothing, this video, to be fair. I'm sorry. It's been everywhere. I've just needed to speak to you, that's all, and get all this out of my system. I've probably forgotten quite a lot of what I wanted to say, but at least I've actually got some of it out. Because after all, that's what I do this for. I do this to reach out to you and to get out of my system what I'm feeling that I can't actually speak. And I can't hold it in. I can't hold it in. Those of you who actually hold it in all the time, I don't know how you do it. Because I need to speak it. I need to get it out. Which is why I actually made my first vlog. So, yeah, do you have the Extinction Rebellion going on where you are? And what do you think about my global warming theory? I love you all. Thank you so much for being here for me. I couldn't do it without you. And it's been really hard the last few weeks, because I've been dealing with real world problems. And I haven't been able to get online and talk to anybody. So it's been hard. So thank you for listening to my ramblings as always, and for being there for me. I love you all till next time, wherever we find ourselves.